How are we today? Today we are talking about the rich outliers. Now, an outlier is often mischaracterized. So some people see an outlier as somebody who is weird, a misfit. They're different. They're too much. They're too sensitive, and we shy away from being the outlier. Now, if you are here, if you want to make a difference in the world, if you're somebody who wants to achieve something significant, then I hate to break it to you, but you are an outlier, particularly if you are in the world of consciousness and spirituality, and you want to blend that consciousness, that spirituality, making a contribution with being wealthy and free and growing something that actually has an impact on a number of people, whether that's a big number of people or a small number of people. Ultimately, if that's you, then you are an outlier. And whilst most people are wasting a whole lot of energy trying to fit in, it is imperative that you decide and you dedicate yourself to standing out. Now, I know that's scary for a whole lot of people, which is why we do this while I do the tap and talk. So this is, if you're not familiar with this technique, the reason I am tapping on my face is because it's incredibly transformational. And while you are tapping along with me, tapping on the points that I tap on, even if you're not doing targeted tapping, which we will do some during this session, but even if you're not doing that, then it is having an impact on your central nervous system. It is helping you to release limiting beliefs, fears, doubts, and blocks that you don't even realize you're actually working on, even while you're not focused on it. So do this tapping with me. If you don't want to tap on your face and your body, then you can do this, just tapping on the ends of the fingers right next to the cuticle. And you can just go around and do that. You can keep your hands down by your sides if you want, but I'm going to do the weird one, which is this. So either one is going to actually help you to release the BS, the belief systems that are holding you back. So we've got a really big one today. I cannot guarantee that I'm going to finish in the 30 minutes, and we could go significantly longer. I've got a stack of notes that I have to go through today. So if you see my eyes darting over there, it's because I'm referring to my notes. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do today is, where was that? Forgive me. I had a page a moment ago. Where did that page go? There it is. So you will be familiar with this. Here's to the crazy ones, the misfits, the rebels, the troublemakers, the round pegs in the square holes, the ones who see things differently. They're not fond of rules, and they have no respect for the status quo. You can quote them, disagree with them, glorify or vilify them. And the only thing you can't do is ignore them, because they change things. They push the human race forward, and while some may see them as the crazy ones, we see genius, because the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do. So that was a campaign that was put out by Apple, and many attribute it to Steve Jobs. I think there's some contention around that. I think his marketing team potentially created it. He possibly gave them the concept and the idea and approved it. So it is generally attributed to him, but it was an Apple campaign. And he was so right. The misfits, the crazy ones, the outliers. And if you want to achieve something significant, then you are an outlier. And this is the hidden superpower of the people who change the world. So if you want to achieve something significant, then tap along with me. We are going to tap on the things that could potentially be stopping you from embracing the outlier within while we go along today. But firstly, I want to talk more about an outlier who is somebody who refuses to accept the status quo, who refuses to accept mediocrity, who refuses when somebody says that's not possible, they go, oh, really? Let me challenge that perception, that concept. It was Brian Tracy who said, attempt the impossible in order to improve your work. It doesn't mean that you will potentially achieve that thing that seems impossible. But, if you shoot for the stars, maybe you'll hit the moon. That kind of thinking is what advances humanity, is what creates new solutions to old problems. Einstein, you cannot solve a problem with the same level of consciousness with which it was created. You have to expand your consciousness. You have to look for new ideas, new solutions to old problems if you are going to actually have an impact. And here's the other thing about outliers. They don't fight what is. They look to build, to create, to expand, to find new solutions to old problems. They are unconventional. They're untamed. They're the wild ones. That's you. Own it. Just own it. Stop running away from it. The problem is too many people are running away from it because they're afraid of the judgment and the criticism and people laughing at them and humiliating them. It was the creator of the radio, Marconi. So Marconi, who created the radio, that his family actually tried to commit him to an insane asylum because he had this vision of being able to send sound waves across the land and across the oceans. And they were like, dude, you've lost it. Like, we can't even conceive what you're talking about. You're crazy. They tried to commit him. Now, I think he actually did end up spending a little bit of time with a psychologist at the asylum, and they eventually said, no, he's not insane. He's just a big visionary. And he actually has a concept, an idea to make this become a reality. And guess what? He did. I'm pretty sure Steve Jobs, when he went to his engineering team and said, actually, I want to build this little thing. It's like an entire computer in this little tiny thing, and it's going to have a touch screen. It's obviously not the iPhone that it is today, but he would completely remade the old cell phone into the new smartphone. And I'm pretty sure his engineers kind of went, oh my God, this guy, he's like certifiable. But they did it because he had the vision. And there was obviously some there was some validity to the concept. Otherwise, he would never have thought it up. So there's all these examples. You can go through life, and the people who changed the world were considered the crazy ones, the misfits, those who stood out. They were often ridiculed. And unfortunately, that's the risk that you take, which is very important to recognize and realize that you cannot have any investment in what people think of you, or very little investment in what people think of you. You need to let go of the fear of being judged, being criticized, people mocking you, ridiculing you, because that'll happen. If you're a big thinker and a big visionary, it's going to happen. And it happens online all the damn time. So gird your loins, steel yourself, forget what everybody else thinks of you. What anybody else thinks of you is none of your business. And get on with the business of being the fabulous, inventive, creative, extraordinary person who breaks the mold. You break the mold. Stop being afraid to stand out. Start being afraid to fit in. Start being afraid to be ordinary. Start being afraid to never achieve your mission, your vision, to never make a contribution, to never achieve something significant. Start being afraid of being like the 99%. You should be far more afraid of that than you should of standing out, because ordinary people live ordinary lives, never achieve anything extraordinary, and that is something to be terrified of as far as I'm concerned. So let's do a little tapping, shall we, on just letting that crap go that is holding you back and stopping you. So just start by tapping on the side of the hand with me and repeat after me. Even though I have all these fears about being judged and criticized, I deeply and completely love and accept all of me. Even though I'm afraid to stand out and be judged, I deeply and completely love and accept all of me right now. Even though I have this fear of success, because I don't want to be in the spotlight, and I really don't want people to judge me, I deeply and completely love and accept who I am and how I feel right now. I destroy, uncreate, and delete this fear of success. I destroy, uncreate, and delete this fear of standing out. I destroy, uncreate, and delete this fear of being judged and criticized. I destroy, uncreate, and delete this fear of being too much. I destroy, uncreate, and delete this fear of disappointing others. I destroy, uncreate, and delete this fear of responsibility. I destroy, uncreate, and delete this fear of failure. I destroy, uncreate, and delete this fear of getting it wrong. I destroy, uncreate, and delete this fear of making a mistake. I destroy, uncreate, and delete this fear of something bad happening. I destroy, uncreate, and delete this fear of being in the spotlight. I destroy, uncreate, and delete this fear of being seen. I choose to release all my BS now. I choose to release emotional attachment to my ego now. I choose to release all self-judgment and self-criticism now. I choose to give myself permission to shine. I choose to know it's safe to shine. I choose to know other people's opinions of me are none of my business. And I make them inconsequential. And I refuse to allow their opinions of me to stop me from achieving my mission, my goal, and my dream. I choose to embrace the outlier that is within me. I choose to be okay with being a misfit. I choose to be okay with being different. I destroy, uncreate, and delete this fear of being different. I choose to be okay with being different. I choose to love that I'm different. I choose to love that I'm quirky. I choose to embrace everything that makes me different. I give myself permission to stand out and shine. I give myself permission to succeed beyond my wildest dreams. I give myself permission to be exceptional. I'm ready to remember who I truly am. I'm ready to be the exceptional version of me. Screw what anybody else thinks of me. I'm on a mission. And I refuse to let my BS hold me back any longer. I'm choosing right now to let my BS go. I'm choosing right now to let go of all my emotional attachment to all the BS that is holding me back. I destroy, uncreate, and delete all emotional attachment to all my belief systems, choices, and decisions that have been holding me back. They are now irrelevant. And I choose to become the new version of me who is capable of achieving anything I put my mind to. I love that I'm different. I love that I'm an outlier. I love that I don't fit in. I love that I am willing to stand out. I love that I choose to be exceptional. I love that I'm weird. I love that I can't be put in a box. I love standing out and shining. Okay, breathe. Several really deep breaths. Just keep tapping. Let all of that land. That was big. And this is the thing. When you decide that you are going to just let go of the BS, the ego, because that's all it is. It's just the ego. And you know, every single outlier, every single exceptional person, everybody who is incredibly wealthy and successful, who has achieved anything significant, they all have fears. They all have doubts. They all have moments where they're absolutely terrified. All of them, because they push boundaries. Big boundaries. They put not the boundaries may or may not be big, but they push way beyond those boundaries. And that's scary for anybody. I bring up Elon Musk a lot because he's such a figure who is so public, and his story is public. And if you know the story about SpaceX and the fact that he had enough of his own money and his investors' money, he budgeted for 3 rockets and all 3 failed. All 3 failed. Can you imagine, particularly on that 3rd attempt? He probably expected the first one to fail, and maybe he probably anticipated the second one might fail. But imagine everything's relying on the success of that 3rd rocket, and he's standing there watching that launch, and it fails. Can you imagine that moment? Put yourself in his shoes. Tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions of dollars has already been spent on this venture. Everything sits on the success of this one launch, and it fails. He pulls himself back together. I don't know how long it took him, probably days, knowing Elon, maybe even one day. But he crunched the numbers. I dare say he went back to his investors. He scraped up enough money. He went back to his team and he said, we have enough for one more, but that's it. This exhausts everything. If this doesn't work, we are done. SpaceX is done, finished. And it worked. And now look at what SpaceX is. I mean, he went and rescued those astronauts a couple of years ago when Boeing couldn't do it. So these are the people, and I'm not saying you need to be an Elon Musk, but these are the people who push boundaries. And this is another thing about an outlier. The thing about money and money consciousness is that money needs a container. Now, if I know who you are, and I think I do to a certain extent, I don't know everything about you, but if you're here in my community listening to this, then I'm going to take a shot in the dark and suggest that you are more concerned with making a difference, with helping others, than you are with your own self-gratification. You don't care about making money for money's sake. And you know what? Most people don't. The thing is that people like conscious entrepreneurs, impact-driven entrepreneurs, people who are purpose-driven, mission-driven, they tend to sacrifice their own needs, wants, and desires for the mission. And that's okay to a point. But the container that money is going to fit into, if your container is too small because of your fears, your doubts, your blocks, your shame, I'm not good enough, it's not safe, I don't deserve it, then you need to create a container that is attached to the mission that the money will fuel. So it's another way of saying, what's your why? What's your mission? What difference do you want to make? What's your purpose? Get very, very clear on that. Very clear on that. And then you attach the money container to that. The money that you bring in will help to fuel that. This does not mean that you sacrifice all of your own needs, wants, and desires, because they're important too. But it's imperative that you put more focus on the mission than you do on your own self-gratification. That happens, the freedom, the wealth, the abundance, and the things that give you the lifestyle that you want, that is a consequence of the money that comes in that fuels the mission. It's not one or the other, it's both. But when you put more importance on the mission, on the project, on the thing that you want to build, because this is the thing, outliers build things. The misfits build things. They create, they invent, they innovate. They make the impossible possible. So attach the money container to what it is that you want to build and what it is that you want to create. At the same time, keep tapping. Keep tapping on the things that you need to release, the things that you need to let go, the it's not safe, I'm not good enough, I don't deserve it. Now, if you've attached the money container to the mission, then it's not about you. It's about the mission. It's about the project. It's about the entrepreneurial venture. It's about helping others. And you benefit as a consequence. But your benefit is secondary to the thing that you're building, that you're creating, to the difference that you're making. And it's also imperative that you take care of your own needs as a priority. So, human potential is far greater than human conditioning. So, the vast majority of people are disempowered because they are allowing their human conditioning to hold them back and stop them from achieving their potential. Is that you? If you are, welcome to this massive club that pretty much 99.999% of people are in. To some extent, some more than others. So when would now be a good time for you to start breaking new ground, exploring your potential, and stop allowing the conditioning to hold you back? I'm glad we're on the same page. Because you have so much to give this world. You have so much to contribute. And if you keep allowing your conditioning to stop you from realizing your potential, then you're never going to achieve that. Outliers think differently. Allow yourself to think expansively, to go beyond the normal, to be extraordinary. People who achieve extraordinary things are ordinary people achieving extraordinary things. They just allow themselves and give themselves permission to be extraordinary in the pursuit of whatever it is that they want to achieve that's extraordinary. But they're no different to you. Well, they're different. We're all different. We're all individual to a certain extent. But you have advantages that Elon Musk doesn't have. You have gifts and talents and core genius and unconscious competence and superpowers that Elon Musk does not have. The thing about creating wealth is that you need to be the kind of person who contributes extraordinary value. If you want to create extraordinary wealth, then you need to be the kind of person who contributes extraordinary value. Look at every single person who has become wealthy and successful as a result of their pursuits. Celebrate them. Celebrate all of them. I don't even care if you don't like them personally. Celebrate their achievements and stop judging and criticizing them and trying to pull them down. I am not a fan of socialist principles and ideologies because with socialism, eventually we all run out of everybody else's money. And the people who are achieving extraordinary things and becoming millionaires and billionaires and trillionaires, they're employing hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands of people. They're giving so many people opportunities that didn't have opportunities before. They're breaking new ground. They're creating new inventions. They're giving us things that we would not have had if they had never existed and if they had never pursued their crazy vision. And they provide extraordinary value to a certain group of people. If you condemn that, then good luck being wealthy and successful. And what this world needs is more conscious, wealthy entrepreneurs. More people who are focused on making a contribution, doing good things in the world, breaking new ground, and doing it in a way that is about human flourishing. So actually, that's a really good segue because I have a free event that's coming up in a couple of weeks. It is the Wealth Breakthrough Experience. It's a group coaching call. It's totally free. And the link is in the description. You can go and sign up for that now. If you've signed up for the last one and you didn't make it because there is no recording, then there will be another one coming up in a couple of weeks' time. It's the first Friday or the first Thursday in August, depending on where you are in the world. And sign up for that. Come to the call. Get coached by me, because I can help you to get the breakthroughs that you need. So just go to the link that's in the description, the Wealth Breakthrough Coaching Experience, and I'll see you there. For the outliers, for the ones who want to break new ground, for the ones who are determined that they will not allow their belief systems, their BS, to hold them back any longer, that they are willing to stand out and take the hits. In the last tapping that I did, I actually tapped along with the lyrics to the song "This Is Me," because every time I hear that from, the song from, oh my gosh, I can't remember the name of I can see the show. Anyway, it was a big movie. And no, won't come to me. But that particular song, "This Is Me," every time I hear it, just brings me to tears. So I like to listen to it before I start my projects, just to remind me that this is me. And I refuse to allow anybody to judge me and criticize me and allow that to stop me. Screw them. If that's who they are, if people are just going around judging and criticizing everybody all day long, why would I listen to them? Why would I listen to their opinion? Why would I even make it relevant in my world if people are judging and criticizing me? And good luck. Have a nice life. You're irrelevant. I'm not interested. I'm not interested in your opinion unless you are somebody who wants to give me constructive feedback so I can be a better person, so I can create a bigger difference, so I can actually be the person I came here to be and live my mission, my purpose, my destiny. That I'm interested in. But if you just want to tear me down, F off. Go make somebody else miserable, because I have no time for that bullshit. Stop waiting for permission and know that your is your competitive advantage. Your differences aren't your flaws or your faults or your weaknesses. They are your greatest strengths. Embrace them, embody them. Allow yourself to explore all your differences with curiosity, with excitement, and leverage them to the max, because that's where the wealth lies, is in you being different, choosing to be different, choosing to stand out. So just tap and repeat after me. I embrace my inner misfit. I'm proud of being different. I'm excited to explore all the ways that I'm weird. I'm curious to find out all of my differences. I don't care what anybody else thinks. I'm different and I'm proud of it. I'm ready to answer my calling. I choose to prioritize my calling over my fear. And if people laugh at me, that's not my issue. Those crabs can stay in their little bucket. Because this crab is climbing out of the bucket. I embrace and embody all my differences. I love myself just as I am. I love that I'm weird and different and a misfit. I love that I break the mold. And I embody and I embrace all of it. So get excited. Get excited about exploring your differences, how you can stand out from the crowd, how you can make a bigger difference because you're an outlier, how you can become a rich outlier. And remember what I said, that the rich outliers are the ones who are incredibly valuable to a certain group of people. They generate value in the world and they get richly rewarded for it. So become the person you were born to be, who offers so much value that money just flows to you. And if you need to, through the container of your project, of your mission, of your purpose, of your vision, make that your priority, your main focus. And make your calling bigger than your fear. Okay, I've actually only got halfway through my notes today, but I think that's enough. So be extraordinary. Dare to stand out. Give yourself permission to shine. Screw everybody else and their damned opinions. And join me next week, week after, for the Wealth Breakthrough Coaching Experience. You're going to love it. I will make sure that the link is in, not just in the description, but it is in the comments after I finish today. I love you loads. You are amazing. You are extraordinary. You are different. You are weird. You are misfit. And that's why I love you. Okay. I will see you again in a couple of days' time, back here on this channel. Remember to like and subscribe, comment below, let me know how this landed for you. And here's to the misfits. I'll see you again soon.